Use code ANGEL on Chossy's store to help the channel out at no cost to you.
DINODOUR. DINODOUR.
Hoi hoi, I'm Angel and this is Tyrannosaurus Warrior from not a company, it's a generic thing with partial alloy movable joints. T-Rex, yeah, that's... Look, I got this thing because it looked interesting. I knew it was gonna be shit, and I was right. This thing fucking sucks. It doesn't have any accessories to speak of, but at least in dinosaur mode, it articulates pretty well in dinosaur mode, or at least it stands really well in dinosaur mode. So here he is. He's a very good and handsome looking gentleman. He can open his mouth and move his head side to side. No up or down, but he can't move it side to side. He can swivel his head as well. These can move, but you can barely do anything else with them. Can do this. Legs move side to side, and this moves a little bit. So it's very limited in its articulation. Tail can do this. It can wag. This can move up and down. Have to be careful that it doesn't move. And yeah, that's about it. Not much to speak about. Honestly, the Kingdom version is way better than this. You can probably get the Kingdom version for about the same price. This was just because I was curious, and I had like $30 to spare, so I just bought this. It's for what it is. It's fine. It's probably gonna go to my work collection where I keep all the shit that I don't really care about, but I still want to keep and not throw away. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna transform this, and we'll talk about the robot mode because it has its issues. There's a couple of things that don't tap in that well, and you can just like, you know, this is cheaply made, because it's one of those like Chinese pseudo knockoff things. Even though it's not a knockoff, like this is like its own thing, its own mold. If this was made by a different company, so to speak, let's say Transart, or heck, Fans Hobby, or even better yet, Mastermind Creations, this would be an amazing piece. Because the transformation is not that bad. We'll talk about that soon. It's just like the build of it and the materials are not the best, but again, to be expected. I'll be right back.
Who's that robot? Behold, Gigantor, a really old robot.
And here is Tyrannosaurus Warrior in robot mode. Let's get a little bit of a close-up on him. He looks fine. Transformation, like I said, it's nothing too insane. It's fine for what it is, for what you pay for this thing. The materials feel super cheap, but it's sturdy. It's very sturdy. Now, what's funny is that it actually has opening hands. You can't really hold anything with these. You think like 5mm ports, but no, it just can't really hold anything. Ah, my arm. I believe the AliExpress version includes a head that more resembles Megatron, which looks way better than this generic head. This generic head is ugly, because it's like, you know, doesn't have anything, looks kind of sad, honestly. I don't know, like a meaner looking sculpt would have been better, I believe, at the very least. And then this thing doesn't tab anywhere, it's just holding down there for dear life. And if you move them forward, this opens up, so not the most secure thing ever. Not that you would expect it, because again, like this thing is cheap as fuck. But even though it's cheap as fuck, look at this. Like this, I have paid $200 for things that are less sturdy than this. But of course, you do that, and this opens up. It's the flap on the side for transformation. But still, it is surprising. It is surprising. You can, of course, and you should put these on his arms, because that's what he uses to be dinosaur. The DINODOUR. So probably what I'm gonna use for the intro for the music. DINODOUR. So I'm not gonna give him full points for what's it called, accessories, because you need these. To me, these aren't accessories. They're part of the fucking robot. Because you need them for the Tyrannosaurus mode. You can just go ahead and just peg that in there. But it's a thing you can do if you want. You can totally remove these and give them a different look if you want. But you know, it's for the price, it's fine. If you're on a budget, I can totally recommend this. It's fun when it's not falling forward, because there's a lot here. You know, there's ratchet joints, there's soft ratchets, but then the feet are just ball joints, and that's no good, because ball joints tend to loosen up and then fail. At any rate, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons for this precious piece of garbage. Let me go ahead and fix this a little bit more. Here he is next to Mega Man X. So this guy is pretty big, which is awesome, especially for the price. Here he is next to Mainline OP. I don't have Kingdom Megatron with me at the moment. He's in my workplace. But I believe it's about, this guy's a little bit taller than he is. Of course, here he is next to main MP10. My bad, mala mia. And this dude is actually, he is taller than MP10, but only because of the horn. Yeah, because the chest stands lower than MP10's, but everything else, the shoulders and the head, stand taller than MP10. So about the same size. So it's a good 10-inch figure, especially for the price. And here he is next to my wife, whom I love and adore. This thing is fine, especially again if you're on a budget. This, you can do so much worse than this, honestly. If you're on a budget, I think this is pretty fucking good. Hey, just put these upwards so they get out of the way. So funny thing is, this thing almost had full marks for articulation, which is insane for a cheapo figure. Head does not really look down. Like, it kind of wants to, but it just, like, end up removing the transformation parts, or detransforming it when you do so. Arm is actually on a universal, so that's pretty good. You get all range of motion in the arm. You do have an arm swivel as well. You have less than 90 degree on the elbow, both ways. I didn't give him full marks for the elbow because I'm being stingy, but honestly, you totally could, because it's almost 90 degree at the elbow, just like a smidge almost. Then he also has universal at the legs for a full range of motion. This gets out of the way to help with the articulation. Leg swivel, you do have 90 degree at the knee. And then the ankle tilts, but again, like, the ankles are on ball joints, and that is disgusting. So yeah, like, this dude chock full of articulation, which is surprising. And again, especially for the price, and we're gonna be discussing that soon. Ultimately, I'm giving this dude 6 out of 10, which is not bad. You might think, oh, 6 out of 10 sucks. No, that is slightly above average, because average is 5. So, slightly above average for a toy that costs $36 on Amazon. Like, you can do so much worse for $36. I have paid $36 for mainline figures that are not half as fun as this thing is. So yeah, like, no points in accessory, no points in materials, because this feels cheap. This feels like if it falls, it's just gonna shatter into a million pieces. Half a point in gimmicks and playability, because, like, yeah, the hand, the dino mouth opens and this articulates a little bit, and that's about it. It can grab people. Half a point in hardware, because, you know, like, why ball joints at the ankles? That to me is a cardinal sin with figures, because then the figure's not gonna be able to stand up after a while. Half a point in build because of this. Trust me, if it didn't have this, I would probably giving it full marks in build. No, wait, no, because it does have this, and this tends to pop out by itself as you're manipulating it, and that's annoying as fuck. But otherwise, it's pretty damn sturdy, and that's pretty awesome. Presence paint, I'm actually gonna give it half a point. And presence and paint, obviously it has no paint whatsoever, but it does have presence. Like, anybody that's a fan of Transformers sees this and they're like, oh shit, is that Megatron? And you're gonna be like, something like that. But hey, if you are a parent and your kids love transforming toys, this is something that they are probably going to love. And yeah, sure, like, this thing is actually painted, but like, there's already paint shipping there. Focus, you son of a bitch. Let me see if I can, because there's actually a little bit of paint shipping here. You can see, like, the white underneath. There you go. You can see the white underneath the paint. And that's me with playing with it lightly. So, imagine a child playing with this. It's just gonna run out of paint in no fucking time. And articulation, we already discussed that. Being stingy and all that. Is it worth it? I'm giving it half a point, because I understand this is not everybody's cup of tea. If you are on a budget and you really feel like you want to get yourself a new Transformer, but you want something that's a little bit bigger, but you don't want to pay $80 for a commander class or a leader class or whatever the fuck Hasbro's doing with the pricing right now, you can do a lot worse than this. I'll just tell you straight up, you can do so much worse than this. This is serviceable. As serviceable as a $36 transforming figure on Amazon can be. Honestly, I think it's more serviceable than other $36 figures that you can get on Amazon. With that said, thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here today. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this one. And remember to use code ENJOL to help out my store at no cost to you on Chelsea Store, Gundamit, and any other affiliated stores. And up until next time, adios.
DINODOUR. DINODOUR. RAWR. RAWR. RAWR.